What is up, you guys? Mr. Lone Star here, and this video I have my vehicle, I have my Honda Fit, and one thing that I wanted to do as soon as I got a car was kind of go back memory lane to the places where I used to live and where I started off my voyage being homeless after my accident. um, right now I'm at a Goodwill. It's a Goodwill outlet. It's not a Goodwill retail store. It's like the bins that I go to, but this one's on the north side. And I haven't been back here ever since because there's no bus routes here, and there's no way that I would make it out here on the bike. So I stopped going here. But I wanted to make this video because I had my accident back in 2017. I had brain injury and a lot of other stuff that I still deal with today. And I guess, since I always say that from day one, I never asked for anything, I never begged for anyone. But when I lost my apartment after the accident, I first thing I did was, I remember I was going to the retail stores, Goodwill, the regular ones, and I would buy vacuums and I would sell them. And I would also buy not buy, but I would find broken vacuums that people would put on Facebook for free, and because they wouldn't work. And I knew how to fix them. I worked on them, and then I would sell them, and that's how I survived until I found this store, which is a Goodwill. I didn't know nothing about outlets or bins, but it's a lot cheaper. They go by weight. When I found this place, this is pretty much where I lived for probably about 3 or 4 years. This is where I hung out at from. They used to open from 9 a.m. and they would shut down at 10 p.m. I would stay here from 9 to 10 p.m. I would sit here. I would go through all the items. I would just get my basket, make smart decisions. I would take pictures. Sometimes I would have the item in my basket, post a picture, wait here, because they have Wi-Fi here. They have bathrooms here, water, and the people were so nice. And once I had a buyer, I would tell them to meet me outside, and I would go. Or when I knew a buyer was going to come, I would purchase the item and then bring it out to them and sell it and make the profit, because I didn't want to like have items and not sell. Plus I was homeless. I didn't have nowhere to keep it. But that's how I survived. That's how I did for like 3 or 4 years. Just living here, bathing here, washing myself here, and pretty much everything that I needed, sleeping bags, clothes, everything was here. I got it from the bins. That's how I survived. That's how I lived. And I wanted to just do a little memory lane for people that don't know my story. This video is gonna be longer. So this is the entrance point. They open up at 9 a.m. And since I lived outside of the building, I was always the first one here. I made a lot of videos before. This was way before TikTok. I believe I was posting my videos on Facebook, but that's why I'm kind of been upset, because all my videos on Facebook that I used to post back then, my face got deleted. I'm trying to get my Facebook account. But this is where I would stand before the doors open. Once the doors open, I had my basket, and then I would go inside. Well, the baskets are inside. But yeah, it's a race. There was a lot of people that would pile up. I'm sure they still do it. It's a race to get the first items in the morning. So that's just where I start off. This was like my home for 3 or 4 years. I would stay in here because in the winter time they had heat. I was warm. Plus they have unlimited blankets here. I mean, you name it, heavy socks, clothes, shoes, sleeping bags. I mean, whatever you needed being homeless, this is where I was. This is where the items were. That's how I survived. In the winter, they have AC. They have bathrooms, water fountains. That's where I stayed hydrated. It's where I hung out. It just gets crazy in there. They're already fighting for items. I never really fought for items. Um, I used to always go behind when they would fight over the items. I'll go behind nitpick. Unless I see something that was really good, then I would jump on it. Something that I knew that I could sell, or it was something that I knew I've sold before. Then I would jump on it. I spent many, many days here, many years. And after my accident, I was out of it. My mind was not there. I have a history of passing out, fainting. I fainted here several times. I did feel safe here because the workers here, which I became family to me, a lot of them were close friends. People in the front, people in the back, they knew me, they knew my situation. And I would faint, but I would just sit up against the wall here, and I would sit down until I recover. And I would just be out of it. It kind of left me alone, or they would always ask me, "Are you okay? How you feeling today?" So that was always good. But I mean, I didn't have anybody. I didn't have family here. I didn't have friends here. It was just horrible. I did it. I did it by myself. I had to motivate myself. I had to push myself every day. I pushed myself. I didn't have any help, and I never begged for a dollar in my life. This is how I did it. This is how I survived. This corner, this is where they have like heavy furniture, couches, dressers. Sometimes they would even put TVs, the washers and dryers. Um, when I first started homeless, I didn't have a vehicle, so I didn't really mess with this stuff. I had to sell small items that I can carry. But once I did get a truck and my van, I've had several vehicles throughout the homeless situation. I lived in a van, I lived in a truck. And when I had those two items, then I could buy these big stuff. I would load it, I would deliver it to customers. And then I started making more money because I could sell more. The profit range was higher. And washers and dryers, as soon as they came out, I had to jump on it. People did have to fight over that. But most of the time, I was first one up because sometimes I would just stick in this corner once I had my vehicle. And as soon as I put it up, it's first come, first serve. So I'll grab it. I would post it for sale. I would get a buyer. I would deliver it to them. If not, I would have them meet me here and I would purchase it. And then we would load it in the back. And the workers would help me, load it, or I give them a ticket and then they can take it. And I made a lot more money when I had the vehicle. So with the vehicle, I make more money. I was able to move heavier stuff. I did have issues because I had to load it by myself, and I wasn't not still supposed to be lifted too much. I would pass out. I would faint. I would have dizzy spells. I would have to sit down, take a break. Just a lot of stuff, but I did it, and I had to recover and make it to the next day. Sometimes I wouldn't feel good, and I'd have to call it a day. But I was inside this building from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. on a daily basis, Sunday through Sunday. So here at the outlets, once you get a basket, you fill it up, you put it on the side. You're not supposed to touch anybody else's basket. That's the rule. But the thing I hate is because after a while, once all the baskets are gone, you don't have access to a basket. So you have to get baskets really early in the morning. It gets really crazy here. I mean, just making this video right now, this lady bumped into me with the basket and not even looking. They're just kind of rude here. I'm kind of done with this. That's why I want to get out of it, because people can be really selfish, rude. She bumped into me, but I had to say, "Oh, excuse me," and then she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. I'm not paying attention." But this is on a daily basis. If you ever come to the Goodwill outlets in Austin, I am warning you, people, they only care about themselves. They're only going to put, they want to get the item first. They'll push you aside. I've had items taken out of my hand, baskets taken. People just push you out the way. And I'm a guy, so I'm not going to fight with no females. So yeah, if you're homeless in Austin, Texas, Mr. Lone Star here, I recommend that you come to Goodwill outlet, do what these people do. Grab what you can, fight for what you can. Anything that you see that is valuable, clothes, items, household, electronics, buy it. It goes by weight, it's really cheap. Then sell it, make a profit. Facebook Marketplace is free. OfferUp is free. eBay is free. And that's how I would do it. That's how I would survive. I'm making this video to show you that just because you're homeless, you're not able to work, that there is money out here. That's how I did it. Didn't make too much, but I made enough to put clothes on my back, to feed myself, use the bus routes, survive. That's how I did it. You never saw me with a sign on the street asking for money. And I used to pass people every day begging for money with the sign. They go out and buy their beer, buy their fix, drugs, while I'm out here hustling to survive. That's why I do have pride in myself. I do respect myself. And people that, I don't know, I guess you can get anything in this world if you try. And I did. I've only been here about 20 minutes making this video, but just looking through the bins, I found this item right here. This is a massager. It is called the Rejuvenator Plus. It's got a model number on there. I looked it up. Brand new, I believe was 100 and something. eBay used is $39. But the only thing is that it's missing one of these rubber boots that came off. Most likely it's in the bins because things come loose. People are just scrambling around. I could probably look in the bins and find it and buy this. This is a really heavy item. They're probably going to give me a price on it. I believe if it's over a certain amount of pounds, they give you a price. If I would get this item for like $10, I could probably sell it for 25 local, make a $15 profit. It's just an idea. Um, One of the things that they do not let you do here that they let you do at the other Goodwill retail stores is plug in your items. Um, at this bins, they don't have outlets, so it's kind of buyer beware. So they do not have outlets to test out electronics, but the retail stores do. But what I pay attention to, because I'm not an idiot, is there's a sticker that has $13.99 Goodwill store. So that is telling me that this item was being sold at a retail Goodwill store. And if it was on the shelf, that means they plugged it up and tested it, because they won't put something on the floor in the retail store that does not run. So just a little tip and something I just realized. So that means most likely 90%, I'm sure this thing works. And with electronics, I would say I have over 90% that whenever I plugged it in, they would work. So I always took my chances on it. The washers and dryer machines, you cannot test them. And I was maybe about 70% would work. The other ones one. So I would just have to sell it for metal. But if they do work, the profit was just so high on that, because the washers and dryers here, I was getting them for about $12, and I would sell them for anywhere from 50 to 150. So average $100 profit was really good. Sometimes I would make $300 in a day. On a good day, I would make like $300. If they put out like 3 washers or so many dryers, I would take them all. I would sell them, and those sell really, really fast. I had people always, as soon as I posted it, they will come and get them, because people just need washer and dryers working. Um, that's how I did it. That's how I survived. That's how I bought my vehicle. This is how I started. I didn't have anything, but I made enough with little items, and I had enough like $2,000 to put on the vehicle. And then from there, I moved on to bigger items, washing dryers, dressers. I would buy dressers. I would deliver dressers. Then you can charge like a $25 delivery fee. But that's how I came up. And I'm just kind of showing you the steps of what it did, because it didn't happen overnight. It took work to work. What didn't work, because when I first started, I was buying stuff that wasn't selling. I had to learn, and then I would stick to items that I knew would sell. Yeah, maybe I should be a coach for the homeless, I think, because I know how to make money out here. All right, guys, here's another item that I found. It's the Paris Tower. And this goes by weight, and this is very light. This probably wouldn't cost me anything. I think I'm gonna grab it. Hey. Oh. All right, guys, I just got kicked out of the Goodwill store because I was making this video. So I am out of here. I have a car now, so you ain't got to tell me twice. All right, guys, so I did grab this painting that I found. It looks really nice. I'm going to save it probably for myself. And I got this Selena cup. I remember a while back, it was all the hype and everybody wanted these Selena cups. Now it's the Stanley Valentine's cup from Target, but hey, I'll take Selena any day. And I also got this guy, Texas UT mascot. So that's my find. I haven't been here in about probably 2 years, but just I remembered a lot of the regular customers, all the customers here, they shop for stuff and then they sell it at the flea market. And then there's a lot of different workers that I don't recognize. I used to know a lot of the workers. I didn't see him. There's one worker that he's still here. His name's Walker, and he's really cool, really nice. I like him. and he remembered me. We were talking right before I got kicked out, but it was good to catch up with him. Also at this Goodwill, I met a girl. She was working the cashier. We dated for a little bit, and then she ghosted me pretty much. So sometimes I wonder if I was gonna see her again. I was looking out for her, but I didn't see her. Uh, and now we're gonna move on to the next place.